大家好，欢迎回到我的频道，我是 CC。那今天玩一款新上市的游戏，叫做 Biomutant。那简体中文的名称叫做生化突变，还叫生化变异。然后繁体中文的名称叫做化身兽人大冒险。那我有先玩一下子体验这个游戏，大概玩了半小时左右吧，然后再开始重新打这款游戏来录音。那我们就新开始吧。对啊，大概玩了半个小时左右。那就选简单难度，然后我们主要是以体验剧情为主，然后也避免大家一直看到我手残的表现。机械蚱蜢，然后我们的主角一只独眼的不知道什么样的生物。
Encode your DNA。
还有一开始给我们的预设的角色，那看起来海拉，这个就是智力的角色，这个。这感觉蛮可爱的我就选这个。不要！好吧，就选这个。下一个。我原本以为它是已经设定好的数值职业会让我们直接进入游戏，没想到还是可以调整。活力的话就是魅力所以魅力会影响交易。
Encode your DNA。
我一不小心就会按到右键然后就会跑出来可恶。
Define your genetic structure。
好吧，就先这样子。
Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color.
那就用一般预设的就好了，反正之后应该有机会去做一个升级各项属性的升级的要素。那来看一下死亡眼。死亡眼这个角色感觉上就是一开始那个宣传片当中的主角的角色雇佣兵，感觉就是一个近战武器加10，近战双手装备2个不同的近战武器来着，双手。近战加10，死亡眼是瞬间换弹。Commando。这是兰博吗？ Cyfreak。灵能者。
Saboteur。
破坏者2把武器。Sentinel。装甲提升10点是要硬拼吗？
Mercenary。Deadeye。
那还是选择这个 Deadeye。靠腰一不小心不自觉会按到右键。赶快选，就选择这个跟宣传片一样的职业。 求生
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
气的交汇，并不是普通的交叉口。浅蓝代表自由与忠诚，深红代表力量、权利。自由。
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and bright side of you, or your inner voice to be precise. An echo of balance and consequence of your action.
Seems more like you're being light-headed if you ask me, but you'll come around eventually.
善恶两方的对话。
But what comes around goes all the way back around. So, it's better to stick to your instincts. You can't fight what's in your nature.
这有点像经典的卡通里面出现善恶天人交战的时候，会跳出一个天使和魔鬼哦。
In your nature, and here I was hoping we'd be all about natural selection.
适者生存。
The strongest and so forth. If that's not instinct, then I don't know what is.
Natural selection is all about evolution and progress. And as soon as there's enough light, darkness will disappear.
第一回合，天使胜利，光明加2。走这边，刚才说的浅蓝。喂，有怪物。
Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others.
有个动物的尸体。
Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger.
敌人。快跑！我们按照这个教学关卡，帮我回旋，帮我回旋。Q 格挡，没格挡了。有，还好闪过。这个就是宣传片的一刀砍爆他的棒子。好，接下来就要用这个电拳。有，快跑！这就是宣传片里面的那个状况，被敌人关在里面，还有那个类似鱼雷的东西。一开始跟宣传片是一样的。然后逃进一个设施里面，我们的独眼主角逃进一个设施里面。这个一身装扮其实有点像恶魔猎人，或者是 Devil May Cry，Devil May Cry， 对，就恶魔猎人里面的主角。但是，我们继续看下去。好，那个一开始的 那家伙似乎是打不赢，因为我一开始跟他缠斗很久，似乎打不赢，这也只是为了教学关卡而设计的。要爆了！哦，要走，走这里，没看到路。
The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die.
看我。2个死掉了。
Blasting everything to bits.
好，装子弹。我们把敌人都用枪解决掉了，没有什么东西可以拿。没有战利品可以搜寻，好，上去看一下，好，没有走。觉得一般动作游戏这种场景不是应该都可以打爆它，然后可以捡到一些东西吗？走，箱子。电力模块，装备，哦，按注意，按住2，哦。纱布，里面好像有东西。马桶，医疗包，走。我们上来一个开拓的地方，烂泥怪。
To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways.
在我一发扫射之后，那个大怪物就倒了。
Great shot.
射击，捡到东西，来看看有没有什么东西可以捡。花花糖果，老舍糖也是糖果，应该都是一些补给品。那河上都插着骷髅的标志，是不是这河水有毒啊？好走，我们顺着指示继续走。喂！长得越大，跌得越重啊！ 然后我们保持灵活的身手，然后再用射击的方式，好像是某种材料吧，我在猜。走。走，继续。哦，这么开放的地方，我还以为会有小王或者是一些怪虫出来。被烤窑，真的。近战。OK。果然是玩简单，就是有这种优势。就是我可以硬着头皮去打那个怪。还有一个人，我以为他出现慢动作，应该就是他结束的时候。升级点。好哦。来看看哦。活力、力量、加生命和护甲。升级点：功夫和天赋。功夫，现在以远程为主。枪，仙鹤起舞，解锁第一个特殊攻击，好，解锁。LT 右键左键，好哦。开始会有双枪。好，步枪，所以枪械会持续解锁。那基础近战没有，基础机动，看起来是这样子。然后天赋特殊攻击，可是现在升级点是0，看一下。光环。常规死亡眼，但是没有办法升级，因为我没有点数。好，看样子就这样。好，继续装备，看一下消耗品，自动击碎蚱蜢叫自动击，手电筒功能外形。好，也没办法改。好，继续。会啊，翻滚。
Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight.
撬棍。撬棍。对。
That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy.
一个 互动物件，我们用撬棍把这个管子撬开，然后一路滚下去。
It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it.
兔子跳，好呀，我没按到，这机车嘞，我不是按到了吗？结果我竟然下去水中了，然后那水中竟然让我死掉，所以那水确实是有污染、有毒的水。读取的时间有点久，好哦，蛋呢？好，竟然在这么蠢的地方死掉，真是让我觉得有点丢脸。果然是动作游戏的苦手。
The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Logs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. 我在翻滚的时候也可以装弹，表示很好用。好灵活的翻滚，一点都不灵活的翻滚，那我用近战好了。好哦，生化球，所以我可以变什么东西吗？这个巢穴我可以拆掉它。不行。那变异，来看看。生物遗传，独恶之勇。这个是不是可以帮忙我很快速的处理？因为有友军的话，它还可以帮我攻击。看一下别的，乌龟形态，变乌龟吗？不是。泥冲拳，泥冲拳。免疫泡泡，看一下啊，异能，我没有灵能点，强化抗性，那来选这个好了。 You can get stranger if you like.
走。看样子这个建筑蛮大的，走那么久还没有出去。我在估计第一个小王就是刚才把我们追赶到这个建筑里面的那一只怪兽，那应该就是我们第一只小王。地图。
Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind.
好，所以世界末日，人类搭乘这个太空梭，就有只叫做方舟的太空梭，然后逃离这里。那剩下的生物，我估计就像主角这样子，被污染的环境搞到变异之后，就变成了所谓的兽人，所以就变化身兽人大冒险。哎，等一下，哦，这里，好，我们的任务目标指向这里。哦，小游戏，那我们来试看看。哦，又是一段剧情解释。
The chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago. But it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
所以哦，这个故事告诉我们，不要把垃圾丢到海洋里面哦，不然就会出现不好的后果。当然啦，就是有时候要怎么讲呢？这或许也是演化的一种，当环境变化之后，就会适者生存了嘛。好，不管，继续。
The sound of spark metal going pew pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door.
Oh.
A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt.
那个门后面该不会就是小
It's
王
going to
吧？
take a bit of puzzling to short circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go.
感觉像是小王在的场所。我觉得应该就是那个把我们赶进建筑物里面的那只怪物又出现了。过气大佬，非空撞击完美的反击会让他们晕眩。哦。
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Chop chop. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. Hold on to that.
先让我把可以捡的捡一捡，再去跟这位。轮椅老先生，你竟然给我跑了！ 新朋友、老朋友。他的住所。
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
好吧，我们听不懂兽人语，但是有旁白帮我们做翻译。那似乎我们的主角一开始也只是一个单纯的村庄里面的一个小孩子，然后后来村庄遭受攻击，然后我们就离开了，然后现在又回来了，继续看下去哦。
After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.
哦，该不会是回忆吧？所以我们回到对话设置为从一个 NPC 线推到另外一个手动推进，可以再设定。哦，回忆。哦，走。所以我们在主角还是小时候还没有失去他一只眼睛之前呢，那只眼睛被眼罩盖住，所以应该是哦，这么的。
Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding.
哦，荧光草，走。 靠腰，差点掉下去。哦，看到了，所以我们要去找这个 No， 让我滚。我要怎么弄乱荧光草是吗？要怎么弄乱？
You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy.
渔网，所以我要去抓诺。
You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the natural rock. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree.
哦，把诺拿去跟树结合。等一下，哦，应该要上去，那到时候到水里面又死了，这样不太好。给各位观众看到我手残，这样不太好。不过话又说回来，手残我才是一般人嘛。如果手不残的话，我就是一些高手、一些神级的玩家啊，对不对？走，把诺拿去那棵树。哦，树又长出根了。
Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did... No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not.
小时候的回忆。
He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun. And it wasn't long after that, the genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, the toxinol corporation inflicted on the land, set the World Eater's DNA into overdrive.
哦，吞噬者的位
His
置
friend Gizmo is working on a Mecton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mecton, the Octopod, the Majute, and the Goo Glide are almost ready to ride. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
投网子。好，看起来就是我们要去救那个世界之树，然后每个世界之树都有一个的根，都有一个吞噬者，然后又对应这个轮椅动物的朋友，他们准备了工具来对付那个吞噬者，看起来是这样的状况。好吧，走吧。没有给我们其他东西。走。
You're getting the hang of it.
跳滚。
Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb.
走。哦，我们出来了那个古老的建筑物，感觉像是一个避难所的建筑物，因为它那个门，所以它一定是一个什么军事化的设施。
Know that the tree of life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the world eaters.
好，正式通过了序章，然后我们要去跟吞噬者打，然后顺便找到了那些帮助我们的人拿那个物品，冲刺，冲刺。但是我觉得用翻滚就好了。
A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged.
哦，该不会是某种传送点？
Let's see.
Let's see. 路标互动时会解锁一个路标。哦，快速旅行很重要哦，很重要哦。对，快速旅行是很重要的。 不然这种大的开放世界真的是走不完哦，走不完的路。除非有坐骑哦，哎，快哦！哎，西郎一开始给我遇到这么大只的，
must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake.
所以刚才那个 NPC 为什么坐在轮椅上？原来是因为被吞噬者咬掉他的脚，这个吞噬者又毁掉了这个路上的村庄。
Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
Survivor， 过去看看。
He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here.
善恶选项。
He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
好，第二次善恶的争斗是善赢了。灵能点。
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important.
Hey.
Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
很明显的善恶两端哦，但是
Out-of-Date
不知
says
道。
someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. He can sense you share Myriad's view on the world. The Myriad would embrace someone willing to fight against the tyranny of the Jagni. Out-of-Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
灵能点数。 所以这2个部族都有一个师傅。哦，皮丘，那就是皮卡丘咯。哦，皮卡丘。等一下哦，灵能点看有没有灵能。哦，有燃烧殆尽，闪烁，按下与技能把那些闪烁将传送在正前方。哦，闪烁。那就1，天赋，角色，淡淡的光明。我有黑暗，我什么时候有黑暗？好，没关系。
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be?
Tunnel or bridge， 他这次没有说是哪一个是，但是我是要去那个布局，那就走这边吧。Tunnel。
It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded.
波兰一开始没有交通工具，就知道波兰过去。不要加入这场战斗。靠腰。我原本不想跟你打，结果。
Slice and dice. Got one. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone.
站好。
That's the myriad tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. The Sifu's door is always open for newcomers, but he cautions you. They'll expect you to behave, or you'll have to face the consequences. The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you.
侠义的浪儿。
He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples.
所以这些所谓的师傅都是我们主角母亲的弟子。
Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life.
联合或征服呢？这个，好吧，联合或征服。
He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe.
Jagni tribe.
The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination. A vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life won't be the restart they want. It's just an end to everything. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. You need to take the struggle to the enemy, or the enemy will bring it to you. When survival is threatened, there's no other option left but war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of.
3个前哨要我们去占领。好哦。
He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
What?
You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. They passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward than using violence to combat violence. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost. You have things to do, places to go to. Says you'll meet again.
好哦，那我们先跟这个结盟呢，似乎他是一个比较正义的人啊。这是什么地方？哎呦，觉得下去就直接GG，走吧。走。这边。
Can't understand why you don't just give up on helping things. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. Thinks Myriad and Netra are evenly matched. So,
哦，商店。
Shopkeeper claims you won't be able to find. Says the place is in high. Always a deal to be made.
散弹枪吗？可是我没有散弹枪啊，而且我好像也没那么多钱，呵呵。都不行。哦，所以这是枪械的。 哦，翻墙倒柜 RPG， 让我们翻墙倒柜，然后这里都是医疗品。
Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk. Not sure if you're likable enough to be let in on it. Says you look trustworthy. Might as well tell you where it is.
问号。
Shine's happy that the Myriad can count on a friend as... Wouldn't be surprised if you...
哦，有一个人告诉我们，
Claims to have strange things from the dead zone that are...
铁匠
Since the place hasn't been do... See what they might want to offer.
没钱呢。看一下。衣服，武器，一把像左轮的枪，然后这一把刀。
A good deal all around. Asks you to check out the wares, confident you'll find. Says the place hasn't been...
衣服，但是我一样是没有钱。好，这是一个居住地，好像 RPG 一样，可以到处搜刮物品，然后买卖物品。但是
Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about. Says there's no reason to let you in on where it is. Says there's no reason to make threats. Wonders how you could be so...
出门去。
Believes you really... Understand.
然后遇到两个人，他告诉我的地点。那两个地点说不定有什么东西可以去拿一拿。然后这个要塞好像就这样子。诶，有个人钓鱼。
Wonders if you're sure you should be... Says this is the... It...
诶，那把门打开了，好走。 它现在指的地方是这里。直线，直线。好，我现在游戏时间1个小时21分钟，那我先进行存档哦。我们现在到了第一个抉择的地方，就是一个选择要联合各个部落的部族，或者是另外一个想要消灭弱者的部族哦。那我们就选择了跟这个好人方结盟，那联合起来，就看接下去会有什么故事。那在这个城堡当中，我们也通过对话，找到2个问号，在地图上有2个问号值得我们去探索。那我们就是先在这边存档，保存游戏。那我们就把一开始的这个把它覆盖掉。那它的树叶是钱哦，只有11块钱，好可怜。好，那今天就先玩到这里。游戏时间1个小时又12分钟。我们接下来会继续把这个游戏玩完。那请大家敬请期待我之后的游戏录影的影片。好，谢谢大家，我是 CC， 那我们下次生化突变再见，拜拜。